humanitarian award recently, right, for your contributions in your hometown. But then you and Gunna just went diamond for Drip Too Hard. So which feels better, or do they feel the same? Which means more to you?
Humanitarian would mean more to me, right? Because I know how hard I hustle, how hard I go. And I'm just like, yo, this little right here, man, to go on tour with Chris Brown, get off tour, go holler at Timbo's, pick up 2 bags of Timbo's, jump on the jet, go do that again the next day, do that again the next day, do that. I'm like, he is laying the blueprint.
The work ethic been crazy. Like, I haven't had no time for myself. You know what I'm saying? I've been grinding. But at the same time, you know, that's what I signed up for, to grind hard.
Started with a penny that was wrapped up to a million.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy RODSKII, and today's video, if you couldn't tell by the intro, we have a Lil Baby on the lineup, man. And one thing from Lil Baby's character that I really took after like researching and learning about him was his hustle mentality that he has. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of deeper stuff that goes into hustling than just somebody that's getting money. We're gonna really dissect that and what I mean by that, and the 3 main things that I think he did and that I took away from it that y'all can do and benefit from y'all life, and I can even benefit it too, benefit from it and things like that. But today's not going to be too long of an intro. Y'all already know what the video's going to be about. So yeah, man, with all that being said, get your popcorn, get your notebook, and take some notes, and let's get into it. One thing I learned and took from Baby is definitely morals, and morality is everything. And if y'all didn't see in the intro, he was talking about how, Charlamagne asked him a question, how to feel to win a humanitarian award, and how they feel to go diamond with his record with Gunna. I forgot exactly which one it was. I think it was Drip Too Hard. But with all that being said, I say all that to say this. He said winning the humanitarian award meant more to him because he was actually doing something good for his community. And, the music, we're not going to get into if that's good or bad for the community. But obviously, Baby, after he got his funds and his blessing, he reinvested back into his community, not even for financial gain, just to see his community go back up. And that's one thing I really respect from it. And that's one thing I think y'all should do. If you're watching this and you have $1 million, you know what I'm saying? If you're watching this, you have $100,000, do something good for your community. Even if you don't have money, you can give back knowledge to your community. And that's one thing I'm heavy on to this day. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't have the most amount of funds as this rapper, I make sure when it comes to my community, I'm gonna always make sure all the knowledge I get back, I'm gonna give it back to my community, and people that's interested in what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. But now let's talk about when you're on your chase to getting the money. That was kind of the aspect of after the money. Now when it's to your point of you getting the money, it's certain things that you should not do for money because energy is always transferable. You know what I'm saying? The energy you put in is the energy you're gonna get out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go too federal on Baby, but we all know probably what he did before he rapped. You know what I'm saying? We all know that story, but I just want to say that was probably what ended him up in jail. And that's why I say negativity you put out is going to be what you get back in. And as you realize his Baby done switched his life around, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't been getting in that much trouble for real. You know what I'm saying? Because he's putting positivity into the world and he's getting that out, So yeah, man, but with all that being said, let's go and wrap up tip number 1. Let's get straight into tip number 2. And this is the second most important tip. The last tip, the most important. This is the second most important. Let's get into it. Number 2 is staying on your pivot. And I'm gonna give y'all a real life situation on like how it can affect somebody's life like this. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the pivot, right? So obviously, Baby, he was doing what he was doing before the rap. What happened was he pivoted to the rap. And what ultimately happened was he had a new stream of income, and he was able to disassociate from the other stream of income because it wasn't the exactly most positive thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was investing in, well, I ain't gonna say he wasn't investing in stocks or anything like that. I ain't gonna say that, but that wasn't the main source that we know him for before rap. But that's in the past. You know what I'm saying? But he stayed on his pivot, and he was able to pivot to rap to replace that income. You know what I'm saying? And a way y'all can really apply this in real life is that to all my people that have like entrepreneur aspirations, just like myself, what I realized that a lot of times with a lot of entrepreneurs that's younger and that's kind of want to do something is they let their job overly take that. And I feel like jobs are definitely positive when it comes to your entrepreneurship and whatever you're doing because that's money you can invest in your business, but you cannot let that overtake what you're trying to build. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people get comfortable with making the amount of money. And it's okay, well, it's not really okay to be comfortable, but if that's your amount of money you want to make, it's cool to be comfortable. But if you have these aspirations to do the things you want to do, you cannot get comfortable with the amount that you're getting from that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to stay on your pivot, to be like, okay, boom, let's do this. Now let's pivot it to my business. And say something goes wrong in your business, I'm not saying the whole business, but like say you got an unexpected expense, you can pivot off that and then go to the next thing just with the money you used off that. But if you get too consumed by your job and you're not on your pivot, you're gonna start realizing, bro, you're gonna stay at that job for a long ass time. So just remember that when it comes to trying to become an entrepreneur or anything like that, and you have a job in front of you. I'm not telling you go ahead and quit your job like I did. Now I could quit my job because that was happening to me and I just eliminated that. But if y'all can manage it, y'all can manage it, but make sure you manage it. That's all I want to say. But with all that being said, that's gonna be it with number 2. Now let's get into the third and most important tip of the video. I don't think y'all ready, but let's get into it. All right, for number 3 and the most important tip we have of the video is work ethic. And he said something about this in the intro also, if y'all ain't pick up on that. But one thing I really learned about work ethic from watching Baby is that his work ethic is really big. And I feel like a lot of times with artists, a lot of people may downplay their work ethic because they may come out with an album with 20 songs once every year. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, I ain't saying that's nothing, but you may think about it as, oh, that's just 20 songs a year. Anybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? But they're in the studio every day picking the best 20 songs that they make, or they feel that they make, the best 20 songs. And it's like, when you think about it like that, you're literally in the studio every day. If you're not in the studio, you're out touring, getting some money for the label or yourself. If you're not touring, you're still in the studio probably while you're touring also, but you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Then you got club venues and things like that. So it's many avenues as an artist that you have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I really took away from it was work ethic is vital. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know what you sign up for, because a lot of people, they may get into the business, and it's not just artists, it's just anything in general. Even college, you can apply this to college. You know what I'm saying? They sign up for it and they don't know what they're getting themselves into for real. And it's like, you be so behind and shocked and be so like, oh my goodness, what's going on, because you didn't really realize what you was working on and how hard you have to lock in to it. Because we can even talk about this with college, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, because I'm not in college, so I ain't gonna sit here and act like I know everything about college. But one thing I would tell you from everybody I know that went to college or that's going to college, bro, it's like, one thing you have to know is that, bro, your work ethic is impeccable. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here just lollygagging every single day thinking you're going to be able to get high grades in your major that you're doing. You have to be able to lock in and have that good work ethic. And I feel like that can apply to anybody, no matter you're doing business, no matter you're becoming an artist, a rapper, no matter you're becoming a painter or anything like that, bro. Work ethic is everything, and especially when it comes to artists and painters. Even me when I'm making clothes, because it's like, not everything's gonna be great. See what I'm saying? But yeah, but that's gonna wrap up today's video, man. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video talking about Lil Baby. Wham, definitely one of my favorite artists. I got him currently number 2 behind. I ain't gonna expose who number 1 is, but number 1's video is coming out real soon. But with all that being said, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.